Hi, you're a human with money. You want more money. But working for money is slow and boring and requires showing up places. So you heard you can make money from money by trading. Spoiler alert, most people lose. But let's pretend you are special. Trading is buying and selling stuff hoping the price goes up or down, depending on which side of the bet you're on. The stuff can be stocks, currencies, commodities, or magical internet coins that Elon tweets about. The goal is simple: buy low, sell high. The execution is where everyone fails spectacularly. First, what are you even trading? Stocks are tiny slices of companies. You buy Apple stock, you own 0.000001% of Apple. Congratulations, Tim Cook doesn't know you exist. Bonds are IOUs from governments or corporations, boring but stable like oatmeal. Commodities are physical stuff like gold, oil, wheat, pork bellies. Yes, pork bellies, because apparently someone needs to bet on bacon. Forex is currencies, dollars to euros, yen to pounds, playing exchange rate roulette. Crypto is digital tokens backed by vibes and Reddit threads, and derivatives are bets on bets, contracts based on other assets' prices. They're called futures, options, swaps. Very sophisticated.
So why trade at all? Because holding cash is watching inflation eat your money slowly. Savings accounts pay 0.5% interest, while inflation runs at 3%. You're losing 2.5% per year doing nothing. That's called the real interest rate, reality tax for the cautious. Trading promises escape. Work smarter, not harder. Passive income. Financial freedom. All the buzzwords that crypto bros whisper before showing you their Lamborghini rental. But here's the thing. Markets aren't stupid. They're efficient. Sort of. The efficient market hypothesis says all available information is already baked into prices. Stock at $100, that's because everyone collectively agrees it's worth $100 right now, based on earnings, news, vibes, Elon's latest meltdown. You can't outsmart the market unless you have information others don't. That's either genius research or insider trading. One wins Nobel Prizes, the other wins prison time. Still want to trade? Cool, let's talk strategies. There's fundamental analysis, reading balance sheets, studying revenue, calculating PE ratios, pretending you understand what EBITDA means. Value investors use this. They find undervalued companies and hold for years. Boring, but works. Warren Buffett made $100 billion doing this while eating McDonald's and drinking Coke. Then there's technical analysis, staring at charts, drawing lines, spotting patterns, astrology for finance people. You'll hear terms like moving averages, RSI, Fibonacci retracements, head and shoulders, not the shampoo, the pattern. Technical traders believe past price movements predict future ones. Economists call this voodoo. Technical traders call economists poor. Both can work, both can fail. Most people mix them badly and lose money consistently. Because here's the secret. Markets are made of humans. Humans are irrational, panic-prone, emotional disasters. We buy high because everyone else is buying. FOMO, fear of missing out. Tesla hits $1,000, suddenly everyone's a visionary. We sell low because everyone's panicking. March 2020, COVID hits, markets crash 30% in weeks. People sold everything. Then markets recovered completely within months. Those who panic sold locked in losses. Those who held or bought made fortunes. This is called sentiment, the collective mood of traders. Bull markets mean optimism, prices rising, everyone's a genius. Bear markets mean pessimism, prices falling, suddenly everyone's blaming the Fed. And then there's the Fed, the Federal Reserve, America's central bank. They control interest rates. Raise rates, borrowing gets expensive. Economy cools, stock prices usually fall. Lower rates, money gets cheap, economy heats up, stocks usually rise. Unless they don't, because markets are forward-looking. They price in expectations. If everyone expects rate cuts, stocks rise before cuts happen. When cuts actually happen, stocks might fall because buy the rumor, sell the news. Confused? Good. So is everyone else. Let's get tactical. You want to trade. You need a broker. That's a platform that executes your orders. Robinhood, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, whatever. They used to charge commissions. Now, most are free because they sell your order flow to high-frequency traders who front-run your trades by microseconds. You're not the customer, you're the product. But hey, free trades. You deposit money. Now what? You could buy and hold. Easiest strategy. Pick good companies or index funds, wait decades, retire rich. Or don't because you picked the next blockbuster. Or you could day trade, buy and sell within the same day. No overnight risk. Sounds safe. It's not. You're competing against algorithms that process information in nanoseconds, institutional traders with Bloomberg terminals and cocaine budgets, and other degenerate gamblers pretending they have a system. Day trading requires speed, discipline, capital, and emotional detachment. Most people have none of these. Studies show 90% of day traders lose money. The other 10%? Half are lying. The rest are probably algorithms. But people still try because YouTube told them some 19-year-old made $10,000 in a week. What YouTube didn't mention, he lost $15,000 the next week and stopped posting. Then there's swing trading. Hold positions for days or weeks. Catch medium-term trends. Less stressful than day trading, still requires timing. And then there's position trading. Hold for months. Basically long-term investing with a fancy name. And scalping, buying and selling within seconds or minutes for tiny profits. Do this 100 times a day, hope the wins outpace the losses and your sanity. Every strategy needs risk management. That's the difference between traders and gamblers. Gamblers bet everything on one play. Traders use stop losses. That's an automatic sell order if price drops to a certain level, cuts losses before they spiral. Example, buy stock at $100, set a stop loss at $95. If it hits 95, you're out. You lost 5%, not 50%. Sounds smart. In practice, people either set stops too tight and get shaken out by normal volatility, or too loose and lose big anyway, or don't set them at all and ride positions into the ground while chanting, "It'll come back." Position sizing matters too. Never risk more than 1 to 2% of your capital on a single trade. Have $10,000, risk $100 per trade. This way, you can survive 100 losses before going broke, which sounds great until you realize 100 losses means you suck at trading and should probably stop. But you won't, because humans are stubborn, optimistic idiots who think the next trade will be different. Let's talk leverage. This is borrowing money to trade bigger positions. Your broker lends you capital, usually 2x, 10x, sometimes 100x your deposit. You control $10,000 with $1,000. If it goes up 10%, you made $1,000. That's a 100% return on your capital. Genius. If it goes down 10%, you lost everything. Margin call. The broker closes your position. You're broke. Leverage amplifies gains and losses. It's a chainsaw. Useful in the right hands. In the wrong hands, you lose fingers. Most retail traders are wrong hands. Crypto traders love leverage. 50x, 100x, sometimes 125x on sketchy offshore exchanges. They call it degen trading. It's glorified gambling with extra steps and worse odds. Bitcoin moves 5%, leveraged position moves 500%. You're either a god or liquidated, usually liquidated. The exchange keeps your money. Thanks for playing. Now let's discuss market types. Stocks trade on exchanges like NYSE, NASDAQ, regulated, transparent, mostly. Forex is decentralized, open 24/5, massive liquidity. You're trading against banks, hedge funds, sovereign wealth funds. Good luck. Commodities trade on futures exchanges. Futures are contracts to buy or sell something at a future date for a set price. Farmers use this to lock in crop prices. Traders use this to speculate wildly on whether soybeans will moon. And crypto trades 24/7 on exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, sketchy platforms that exit scam every few months. No weekends off, no sleep. Just perpetual degeneracy and liquidation notifications at 3 a.m. The dream. Here's what they don't tell you. Trading is a zero-sum game. Actually, negative sum because of fees. For every winner, there's a loser. You made $1,000, someone else lost $1,000, plus broker fees, plus exchange fees, plus spread costs. The house always wins. In stocks, it's less zero-sum because companies create value over time.
In forex and futures, pure zero sum. You're fighting over the same pie, and most of the pie goes to institutional players with better information, better technology, and better lobbyists. So who wins at trading? Algorithms. High-frequency trading firms make billions front-running orders. Market makers who profit from spreads. Institutional investors with research teams and insider networks, legally, of course. Patient, long-term investors who ignore the noise. And lucky idiots who mistake a bull market for skill, brag loudly, then disappear during the correction. Who loses? Emotional traders who revenge trade after losses. Overconfident beginners who risk too much too fast. People who follow gurus selling $997 courses on how to trade. People who believe in meme stocks because Reddit said so. Anyone using phrases like diamond hands or hodl or this time it's different. And definitely people who trade based on Twitter rumors, TikTok tips, or their uncle's cousin's advice. Let's talk psychology. Trading is 90% mental, 10% strategy. You need discipline to follow your plan, patience to wait for setups, courage to take trades when signals align, humility to accept losses, and emotional control to not blow up your account after 3 bad trades. Most people have none of these. They chase, they panic, they hold losers hoping they'll recover, they sell winners too early because profit is profit. There's also confirmation bias. You believe Tesla will moon, so you only read bullish news. Hindsight bias. I knew it would crash. No, you didn't. You're just rewriting history. Recency bias. Last 3 trades won, so you're invincible now. Wrong. Overconfidence. I made 20% last month. I'm quitting my job. Narrator voice. He was broke by March. Then there's the sunk cost fallacy. I'm down 50%, but I'll hold until break even. Congrats, you're married to a losing position. Meanwhile, opportunity cost is eating you alive. That capital could be in a winning trade, but instead it's tied up in hopium. Tax implications. Every trade is a taxable event in most countries. Short-term gains, held less than a year, taxed as ordinary income. Long-term gains, held over a year, taxed lower. Day traders pay more taxes. Also, wash sale rules mean you can't claim losses if you rebuy the same security within 30 days. The tax code is designed to punish active trading.